Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Teresa Campos. I'm here at the Santa Clara City Library, and today we are welcoming Ashley Howick, who is our Northern California field lead for the California Citizen Redistricting Commission. That's a lot to say in one sentence really fast. We're very happy to provide this program to our community. One of our library missions is to make sure that everyone is well informed, especially about programs and initiatives that are happening throughout the state of California. So without further ado, Ashley, please take it away.
Yes, thank you all for having me and inviting the California Citizens Redistricting Commission to be here and present at this meeting. Again, my name is Ashley Howick. I am the field lead staff covering the Northern California regions, which of course includes the Bay Area and Santa Clara County. So in this presentation, I'm going to go over just a bit on who the commission is, some background on redistricting in California, and then especially how to participate in this process. So just as a friendly reminder, per California Government Code Section 82533, this strictly forbids commissioners and staff from taking public input or public comment outside of a regularly scheduled commission meeting or any official public input meeting. However, at any point, if you wish to do so, you are welcome to visit our website at redrawthelineca.org to provide your input. Instructions on how to do so will be on our homepage. I will also be going over that today. So at the end of the presentation, I will be answering some questions that were submitted in advance, and I can only do that as I cannot, per our guidelines, do a live Q&A. However, if you also have questions at the event or at the end of the event, I will be providing my contact information. You can get in touch with me that way. I'd be happy to discuss anything further with you at a separate time. Okay, so one of the greatest powers that the people of California have is to elect their own representatives in government to represent their needs. How districts are drawn can make the difference between empowering and maximizing the voters' voices or minimizing and muting those voices. In most other states, politicians draw the lines. California Citizens Redistricting Commission was formed to take back the power and have the people redraw the maps for Congress, State Senate, State Assembly, and Board of Equalization. The commission is made up of 14 citizens who went through a very rigorous selection process. And by fully participating in and monitoring the redistricting process, more communities may have the opportunity to elect candidates of their choice. So speaking up about your community is critical to help keeping your community whole to the extent possible. This ensures that your voice is heard by your elected leaders when making decisions such as the quality and funding of children's education, addressing transportation concerns, or determining tax rates. So your input is valuable in shaping the new political boundaries. So we thought it would be beneficial to break down a little bit about how redistricting can affect you directly. So the first one, power to the people. In 2008, California voters passed Proposition 11, the Voters First Act. This authorized the creation of an independent commission to draw the new district lines for the State Senate, State Assembly, and Board of Equalization. In 2010, with Proposition 20, the Voters First Act for Congress, this then added the responsibility of drawing congressional districts to the commission. So this process was historic in California because, again, it transferred the power of drawing the district maps away from the politicians and gave it to the people. For championing your issues, having the opportunity to elect representatives that champion your issues is important in a state like California, where issues can vary drastically from one street to the next. So just for example, Northern California might champion environmental and economic issues, while Central California might champion water and agriculture issues, or Southern California might champion issues dealing more so with transportation or housing and employment. For funding priorities, tied to the issue of electing representatives that champion your issues, you might want to elect representatives that have your financial interest at heart. So when the time comes to build a budget, you'll want a representative that is fighting to ensure your community gets the financial resources it deserves for various services such as education or water and fire protection. For community boundaries, the redistricting process, it's all about drawing the lines and determining which communities get grouped together into districts. So your input in this process is essential to helping the commissioners understand where your community starts and where it ends. Redistricting in California is one of the few civic activities that any Californian can provide input to regarding their community that can ultimately impact the laws and regulations, the tax structures, how funding is distributed, and which services are provided. So the California Citizens Redistricting Commission is one of many redistricting efforts occurring in California right now. So the commission is redrawing districts for the state offices, while counties, cities, school districts, water districts, and community college districts are also redrawing their local districts at the same time. I just wanted to bring this to your attention because all these different efforts are happening simultaneously, and it can be a lot, it's a little confusing, but aside from being involved in the state redistricting process, we do also encourage everyone to be involved in the more local redistricting efforts. I will say that they all have different timelines, and as we're getting closer to the end of the year, some are finished, some are still ongoing, but we do encourage you to look into your more local efforts. So these are the 6 line drawing criteria that the commission must follow in this order when drawing the district maps. So the first one is districts must be of nearly equal population. The second one is the Voting Rights Act. So districts must comply with the Voting Rights Act to ensure that minorities have an equal opportunity to elect representatives of their choice. Number 3, districts must be drawn contiguously so that all parts of the district are connected to each other. And 4, districts must minimize the division of cities, counties, neighborhoods, and communities of interest to the extent possible. 5, districts should be geographically compact such that nearby areas of population are not bypassed for more distant populations, and this requirement refers to the density, not shape. And 6, where practicable, each Senate district should be comprised of 2 complete and adjacent assembly districts, and Board of Equalization districts should be comprised of 10 complete and adjacent state Senate districts. So in addition to the 6 line drawing criteria, the place of residence of any incumbent or political candidate may not be considered in the creation of a map, and districts may not be drawn for the purpose of favoring or discriminating against any incumbent political candidate or political party. So when drawing the maps, the commission has to be mindful of communities of interest. So we can easily obtain the city and county information from those jurisdictions, but we need communities of interest information from Californians. Communities of interest are defined as a concentrated population which shares common social and economic interests that should be included within a single district for purposes of its effective and fair representation. Examples could include areas in which the people share similar living standards, have similar cultures, use the same transportation facilities, have similar work opportunities, or have access to the same media. So people can belong to multiple communities of interest. Do keep in mind, though, that a community of interest is not the same as a district, and a district is not a community of interest. Communities of interest are the key building blocks of districts. So just some ways that you could describe your community. It could be geographically discussing waterways, if your area is more rural or urban, mountainous or desert, so things like that. You can discuss boundaries that are already existing, talking about like cities, towns, counties, school areas, or you could just talk about things that you have in common. Okay, so this is the roadmap to the final maps. And we encourage you to get involved in every step of the way. You can see the upcoming meeting dates on this slide. I will say that things may change. It's up to the discretion of the commissioners. So I believe this is still the most current one, but if it does change, it will be updated on our website under our meeting page. You can also look into the specific regions the commission is discussing each day. And I will note there will be time for public comment at the end of each day. And then the commission must submit their final maps to the Secretary of State no later than December 27th of 2021. So coming up pretty soon here. So this is our map viewer. We have a map viewer that you can see the draft maps that were released out on November 10th. And then we have the ongoing iterations that the commission is currently working on during this line drawing process. We will have ongoing updates posted here that the commission is continuing to refine. There are 2 video tutorials available on our website, one on how to use the map viewer and another on the shapefile drag and drop feature, where you can upload and view the shapefiles the public has submitted. So the video walks you through how you can find shapefiles the public has submitted in the commission database and then upload them to the map viewer if you wish to view those. I will also bring up the map on our website at the end of the presentation just to quickly go over how you can see it and zoom in on the districts. Okay, so again, we encourage you to get involved and share your input in whichever way is most convenient for you. We have ways to provide input online. You can write to us and mail it in, call into a meeting. All of these are listed on our website as well. But again, we highly encourage feedback from the public. So we also have 3 different mapping tools. These are available on drawmycalifornia.org. They are also linked on our website as well. So these are the mapping tools that you can send in maps to the commission if you would like to. So the first tool is Draw My CA Community. So here you'll tell the story of your community. So for example, what are your shared interests? What brings you together? What's important to your community? And then are there nearby areas you want to be in a district with or nearby areas you don't want to be in a district with, and why or why not? And it will prompt you with all of those questions and provide you with a map if you wish to draw out the boundaries of your community. So that one is very community of interest focused. And then the second one, or excuse me, let me go back to the first one. So this community of interest one is available in English, Spanish, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, Vietnamese, Tagalog, Korean, Armenian, Farsi, Arabic, Russian, Japanese, Punjabi, Khmer, Hmong, and Thai. So that's the first tool. And then the second tool, this one is more district based. So it's similar to the first one, but it's for those that want to draw desired borders for Senate, Assembly, Congressional, or Board of Equalization districts. So this one features census block level data and will be able to tell you if the districts you are drawing are compliant population wise. This tool is available in English and Spanish. And then the third tool is the Draw My CA plugin for QGIS. This one is a full downloadable program for those that want to draw entire state maps. So this program definitely requires more bandwidth and is for those that are fluent in the GIS software. This plugin is also available in English and Spanish. And for all of these programs, we have file types available for export in equivalency files, shape files, and PDFs. But just wanted to highlight all 3 of those because they all are free and accessible for the public to be using. So there are also numerous ways to get assistance with these tools. On the website, you can do so directly in the tool. We have hyperlinks in this slide, which I can share with you all. We have tutorials in those 16 different languages. We have user guides and how-to videos in English and Spanish. You can chat directly with tech support, sign up for a virtual appointment to receive assistance, or even just call the helpline directly. So we also have in-person assistance at our redistricting access centers. We can visit a redistricting access center to get help in person or to utilize our publicly accessible computers and redistricting software developed by the statewide database. Staff is available at each location to help members of the public use the redistricting software. I will note that appointments are required to be able to visit one of these, and each redistricting access center does meet ADA accessibility standards. So again, we have 6 throughout the state, but they are there for the public to use. Okay, and as we're nearing the end of the slide set, I will ask if you can help spread the word. We would greatly appreciate it. This process, it's all about getting Californians involved and being able to share their feedback with the commissioners. So the more participation, the better. And if you're able to help us spread awareness in any way, again, we would greatly appreciate it. We do have outreach materials in those 16 different languages. We have social media accounts on all the major platforms. We have a mailing list, social media toolkits, you can host viewing parties, but whichever way, if you just encourage your community or your networks, friends, families to get involved, again, much appreciated. Okay, and then again, just friendly reminder, per California Government Code Section 82533, I cannot take public comment or public input, and I cannot do a live Q&A session. But I will have my contact information on this slide. So our outreach manager, if you have any kind of like statewide questions or like broad outreach questions, feel free to contact her. Her name is Ann Marks. But this is my contact information here. I am the Northern California lead. So ashley.howick@crc.ca.gov, or this is my work phone. Feel free to email me, call me, text me if you have any questions. I'd be happy to talk about it with you further. And I am going to exit out of the slide set and then I start to share our website just to touch on our maps. Okay, so this is our homepage. Again, our website is redrawthelineca.org. If you want to translate our website, you can do so here. Sign up, you'd be able to sign up for our mailing list to get our regular updates and monthly newsletters if you're interested. The participate page will take you to show you how to provide your feedback if you wish to do so for the commission. So it gives you the link to our contact form, the map feedback form, and then the address if you wish to write to us. And then it also links those 3 mapping tools I was discussing. I'm going to go back to our homepage and click on draft maps. So this is our map viewer. The tutorials for the different uses of the map viewer are available up here. And so I'm just going to, I can't discuss specific boundaries, but I'm just going to zoom in and show you how to utilize this tool. And then if you wish to provide feedback on it, where you can get to that feedback form. So right now it has the congressional districts drafts that were released out on November 10th toggled on, and I can unclick that if I want to. I'm just going to pull up the assembly district iterations. I believe this is the most current released draft or iterations that will eventually turn into the final maps towards the end of the month. I personally am going to toggle this last box off. I feel like it makes things a little bit more clear. And so I'm just going to zoom in and you can see all the different assembly districts that they are working on. And then if I wanted to zoom even further, I could do that. You'll see the city names start to pop up, some neighborhood names. And then if you zoom in even further, you can see street names, and it gets pretty detailed from there. So we do have that. And then if you want to click on the district, it will tell you the name of it, give you some of the demographics of the city's citizen voting age population, and the deviation is here. And so if you remember back to the 6 line drawing criteria, the first one is that districts have to be of nearly equal population. And so what they do is they take the total population in California and divide it by however many districts that they're drawing, and they're going to have that perfect number, right, for each district. And so this is how far away they are from that perfect number, and this is a percentage. And so I will note that for Assembly and the Senate districts, so the state legislature, they are allowed to be within a plus or minus of 5%. Okay, and then if you want to, you can compare them to the current assembly districts. So these were the ones that were released 10 years ago, and you can compare them to the ones that they're talking about today. Okay, and then we have the feedback form here. So if anything you saw, you can go ahead and use it on your own to look at the Senate and congressional districts as well. But if you saw anything that sparks a reaction from you, whether it be positive or negative, the commission wants to hear it. And so we have this community input form to provide your feedback. I will note that if the question does not have an asterisk next to it, you can leave it blank. So if you don't want to put your name, you don't have to. If you're not part of an affiliated organization, skip it, doesn't matter. But really they're just looking for what kind of feedback you're giving, the name of the area where you're providing your feedback, and then what you want to say. You can tag the county you're talking about. Again, these are optional, and then you can hit submit, and it goes directly to the commissioners. Okay, and I will conclude my presentation there, and I will read out just the questions that were submitted in advance to end. Okay, so the first question I got was, isn't it a shame that the commission is, or sorry, isn't it a shame that this commission couldn't be made up of a group of registered voters, regardless of political affiliation, and expect them to fairly draw these lines? Why must it always be us against them? So for that question, I would respond with, it's not a shame. It's actually what the people voted for. So with the passage of the Voters First Act, Prop 11, Prop 20, this is what the voters wanted. So the commission must be made up of 5 Democrats, 5 Republicans, and 4 not affiliated with either party. So it is designed to produce a commission that is independent from legislative influence and reasonably representative of the state's diversity. For the second question I received was, is this redistricting also for the schools, middle and high schools especially? So I believe I touched on this, but local school districts do their own redistricting and is separate from the California Citizens Redistricting Commission. The CRC is tasked with redrawing the state, Senate, State Assembly, Board of Equalization, and Congressional districts. So for the state offices. And then 3, by what criteria were the commission slots filled? Frankly, it appears to be problematic from the start. So commission members must be a voter who has been continuously registered in California with the same political party or unaffiliated with a political party and who has not changed their party affiliation for 5 or more years. Each commission member shall have voted in 2 of the last 3 statewide general elections. In the preceding 10 years, commissioners must not have worked for a campaign or a candidate for federal or state office or a political party. They cannot have been elected to a party central committee or served as a paid consultant to any of these entities. So those are some of the regulations for them. And then the initial and supplemental applications were forwarded to an applicant review panel consisting of 3 independent auditors from the California State Auditor. After the panel reviewed all the applications, the panel selected 120 of the most qualified applicants who were then personally interviewed and divided into 3 equal subpools according to their party affiliation. The pool was then narrowed down to 60 applicants. And then the panel presented those 60 applicants to the California State Legislature, where leadership had the option of removing up to 24 names from the list, 8 from each subpool. So again, the subpools would be Republicans, Democrats, and non-affiliated party. And then the names of the applicants not removed from the subpools were then submitted to the California State Auditor. So the California State Auditor randomly drew the names remaining in those 3 subpools. So they drew 3 Democrats, 3 Republicans, and 2 from neither of those parties. And then these 8 applicants became the first 8 members of the commission. And the first 8 members of the commission then selected the final 6 members of the commission by selecting 2 commissioners from each of the 3 subpools. So that's kind of how the commission was formed. And then the last question I received was, how is redistricting going to deal with the diversity of Asians in Santa Clara? We have Koreans, Chinese, Indians, and Vietnamese, as well as others. So the commissioners have received input from various stakeholders regarding the different communities of interest within Santa Clara County and use that information within their 4th line drawing criteria, back to that 6th line drawing criteria. So they are using that information. If you wish to provide more input, you are welcome to do so. But yeah, that will be concluding my presentation, and I will pass it back to the library administration.
Thank you so much, Ashley, for showing us that and showing us that map and showing us how to use that website. It was really informative, especially to see it on a state and county level. One last thing I do want to mention is if you are interested in the city of Santa Clara's redistricting, they are having a meeting tomorrow. That will be Thursday, December 9th at 6 p.m. You can find more information about that on the Santa Clara City website. And so that will be santaclaraca.gov. It is on the homepage, but if you do not see it on the homepage, you can go to Our City and it'll be right under government. And so from there, you can view the meeting or you can participate just like you have today. But other than that, I do want to thank Ashley one more time and thank you for coming in and showing us. And thank you everyone who has participated and added your questions and feedback. Have a good night, everyone.